Wiggle into it. Maybe draw the lower back in, draw the lower belly in, and raise the shoulders way up near the ears and then just drop them. Let them drop down and find the shoulders a little bit back and down, but without effort, just relaxed. Reaching up through the crown of the head. And we'll begin with the sound of one Om. So everybody exhale and inhale and Om. And then we'll take our 4-7-8 breath, a couple of rounds. Inhale on the count of 4. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. And allow the breath to return to its natural rhythm. We'll take the arms out to the side and overhead. Palms touch. And side bend to the left. Reaching through the right hand. Turning the head to gaze up and dropping that left shoulder down. Pushing back a little with the left hand so that the right sits bone stays on the floor. And then we'll twist to the right just for a moment, reaching up through the crown of the head. That's the main motion. And just twisting a little bit further on the exhale. And then bring the right arm around to the left knee and round the spine back, lowering the chin to the chest. And just hang here for a moment, a couple of breaths. And then open the arms, open the heart, lift the head, lift the gaze, and the eyes, the heart, and return to normal. Change the cross of your legs if you're sitting in cross-legged or half lotus. And then take the arms overhead again and side bend to the right. Reaching through the left side of the body, pressing back a little bit with the right hand, even as you lower the right shoulder away and turn to gaze up at the left arm. Reaching. I don't know why, but wiggling my fingers makes me feel like I'm stretching even more. I like to wiggle my fingers a lot. And then left arm behind, right hand to the left knee. And reach up, inhale, reaching through the crown of the head. And exhale, twist a little more. Breathe. And bringing the left arm around to catch the right knee, round the spine back, lower the chin to the chest. Just very gently and comfortably. And then open the arms, open the heart, lift the gaze. Feeling this big opening. And come back to center. We'll come right to all fours. And we'll inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Rounding the spine way, way up. Slowly inhale and take the full inhale for cow. Pause for a moment and slowly exhale, coming into cat. Pressing up through the arms. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And return to neutral. And we'll just take the right arm out to the side and scoop it under the left arm and come down onto the right shoulder, threading the needle. You can exaggerate the arches of the feet and place the toenails on the mat. If you'd like to take a deeper twist, you can lift the left arm or even wrap it and bind the waist. And then bring the right arm up and out again. And back to this mat. We'll just take that to the other side. Lift the left arm high. Keep the hips level and scoop it through. Reaching the left arm through, threading the needle. Propping the right arm with the elbow bent on the mat. Or lift the right arm up, wrap it around the waist and catch the thigh. Just keep opening the heart towards the side wall. And if you've wrapped, replace your right hand on the floor, open the left arm out again, and replace it on the mat. Now we'll take some cat bends, yoga push-ups. So take the left hand and point it a little bit toward the right front corner of the mat and the right hand pointed toward the left corner of the mat. And then bring the hips down somewhat so that you're more of a straight line from the knees to the shoulders. And the elbows will go out, but find a comfortable place so that your shoulders are away from the ears. Maybe you have to alter the angle of your hands. And then lower part of the way and press back up. Try to take this with your breath, like to inhale on the way down and exhale as I push back up, but you can take it the other way. Inhale on the way down and exhale on the way up. And just take this 5 or 6 times or 25 times. And then press back when you're finished into child's pose. And maybe stack the hands and place the forehead on the back of the hands. Just resting here for a couple of breaths. Or maybe you even want to take the arms back by the feet. The forehead on the mat. To really rest the arms. And then we'll come back up to our knees for a first gentle back bend, a camel pose. Tuck the toes and bring the blanket under the knees. And rise up so that the hips are directly over the knees. And you can try putting your hands in your back pockets like your jeans, or you can even turn the fingers up or just wrap them around the waist. And find a comfortable position for the fingers. And then lift the heart And take the head back, keeping the shoulders down and back. And just make this a gentle back bend. Really stable on the knees, so engage the legs all the way up through the gluteals. And breathing here. And then using the core strength, come back up and come back to all fours. Tabletop. And tuck the toes. We'll come to down dog. And pedal it out. Rising up onto the toes, then allow the heels to drift down toward the mat. And pressing the shoulders through. And releasing the neck and head. And then lifting the left leg high in the air, draw the knee to chest, and come into three-leg plank, and then step the left foot down on a separate track from the right foot. And we're in a low lunge right now. We'll come into a high lunge here. So wing the arms back, strengthen the legs, draw the hips together, and then raise the arms up and lift the gaze, strengthen the arms and soften the hands. And then maybe lower the right knee just a little bit toward the mat and then straighten the right knee. Exhale, bend the right knee toward the mat and straighten it again. And bend the right knee toward the mat and straighten it again. And then we'll bring the arms back so the torso comes to 45 degrees. And then you can spring off the right foot and bring it hip width apart from the left foot. And find your mountain pose. So draw the shoulders a little bit back and down. And soften the gluteal muscles, soften all the leg muscles. Just see if you can rest in standing pose. And breathe, mountain pose. Bring the arms up overhead, palms together, take a little back bend here. And swan dive forward with bent knees so that the torso comes to the thighs. And then catch hold of the back of your legs, whether it's on the calves, the ankles, or even the heels. And then release the neck and head. You can shake the head no, nod yes, and just come into this gentle first forward bend. And then bring the palms to the floor and step the left foot back. Find the feet on separate tracks. Really find your foundation, squeezing the hips together. Wing the arms back and come to 45 degrees and then all the way up into this lunge. Arms in a high V, strong arms, soft hands, and sink down a little bit more in the right leg. Maybe you have to adjust the length of your stance. And then bending the left knee, lower it toward the floor, but not all the way. And inhale back up, straighten the left leg. Bend the left knee and lower it toward the mat. And inhale back up. And exhale, lower it toward the mat. And inhale back up. And then we'll wing the arms back again and spring off the left foot. and come into mountain one more time. Find all the adjustments. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down a couple of times while I take off a layer. And then bring the arms up overhead and bending the knees. Swan dive forward. And maybe this time you can try placing your hands under your feet with the wrist right in front of the toes. And then relax the shoulders. The knees can be deeply bent here. So you're feeling some strain on your hands. And you can even use your toes to massage your wrists right at the base of the palms. Palms face up, backs of the hands are down. And then maybe even begin to straighten the legs a little bit and bend the elbows and pull down into this deeper forward bend. Breathing here. And then slowly remove the hands from under the feet. And we'll come back down to sit on our mat. We don't need the blanket for this. And stretch the left leg out to the side. Bring the right foot to the inner thigh for Janu Shirshasana. And take the torso and center it over the left leg. Make sure the right knee is down. If it's not all the way relaxed, you can place a blanket under the knee. And then having the torso centered over the left leg, just begin to walk the hands out next to the leg, keeping the left foot flexed. And maybe take hold of the leg somewhere around the shin, the ankle, or even the foot. As long as you can keep the spine long and the shoulders down and back. And maybe draw forward a little bit more. Forehead to toes. The long spine, just breathing here. And rising back up, walk the hands back in. And then take the right arm back and overhead and place it on the floor behind the right hip. And sweep the left arm up as you lift the hips up and come into a stargazer. Breathing here. And sweeping the left arm back and down just the way you came into it. And stretching the right leg long. Just shake the legs out a little bit. Release the ankles. And take the right heel towards the right front corner of the mat and the left foot on the inside of the right thigh. And make sure that left knee is down. Flex the right foot so that it's the whole right leg is engaged. And then, if you don't come forward with a long spine, just place your hands behind you on the mat so that your spine stays long and press forward, hinging at the hips, or centering the torso over the right leg. Can begin to walk the hands out. Feel a little bit of relaxation in the left hip that allows you to come forward with long spine. And as you get closer, maybe you can take hold of the leg and draw yourself forward, reaching the forehead towards the toes. Lifting on the inhale, extending through the spine, and folding a little deeper on the exhale. And it's okay if you don't come all the way down, just where there's this whole range of possibility. Breathing here, feeling this opening in the hips, and then walking the hands slowly back in, rising up. Take the left arm up and overhead and behind the left hip, and sweep the right arm out to the side and lift the hips up for stargazer. Maybe smile up at the stars. And drawing the right arm down again and sitting back down. Draw the right leg in and roll over your legs and come back to all fours. Tabletop. And tuck the toes and we'll come back to down dog. Find your down dog. Sometimes it's good to just take a good long down dog and just can be a restful pose. And it's also strengthening for the arms and the shoulders. Breathing here. Take deep belly breaths. And stepping the left foot closer to the right, lift the right leg high in the air and bend the knee and step it through and lower the left heel behind the right heel so that we're in a warrior two stance, and windmill the left arm up and over and come into your warrior two. Maybe you have to lengthen or shorten your stance a little bit so that your feet are really firmly planted on the floor. Draw the right hip under, strengthen the left leg, and reach back with the left arm. Maybe turn the palms up and then just leaving the arms where they are, just turn the hands back down. So this is a little bit better positioning for the arms. And then lower the left hand to the inside of the left thigh and lift the right arm up, keeping the right knee bent. Peaceful warrior. And then we'll straighten the right leg, coming into radiant triangle and really stretching out the right side of the body. And then reaching forward, bring the right hip under the left and we come to triangle pose. And just try to really keep the torso straight and long through both sides of the torso. You can lift the left arm up. You can even have the left hand on the left hip if that helps with your stability. And breathe. A few more breaths here. And if you have your block, just bring your left foot a few steps closer and then take your block to the outside of the right foot. We're coming into half moon. So if you'd like to step off the mat, that's okay too. And then lift the left leg up, left hand to left hip, and then open the shoulders and the hips to the side wall. Slowly, keeping that left leg as high as you can lift it. You can point the toes Flex the toes, and then lift the left arm up if you feel stable. Breathe. And bring the left arm down and around and lower the left leg to meet the right, hip width apart. And just catch the elbows and relax completely. Ragdoll. Resting here. And then bringing the hands to the floor again. We can try stepping back, or you can bend the knees deeply, coming into a bit of a crouch so that your hands are firmly planted. And then jump back into a plank pose. Or step, step, step back, whatever works for you. And then lift the hips back up into down dog. And we'll take that on the other side. Step the right foot closer to the left. Lift the left leg high in the air. And then draw the knee to chest into a modified plank. And step the left foot through. Turn the right heel down so the heels are aligned. And you can bring your left hand to your left knee and windmill the right arm up and over. Adjust your stance for warrior two. Draw the left hip under the right and really firm the right leg, pressing the outside edge of the foot down, really the outside edges of both feet. But the front foot, it's more like you're pressing into the ball mound, spreading the toes, finding that firm foundation. And then draw the right arm back and maybe sink a little bit lower into the warrior two. Strengthen the right leg again. Keep refining the pose as you breathe. And then lift the left arm high in the air and take the right hand inside the right thigh, keeping the left knee bent for peaceful warrior. Breathe here. And then we'll straighten the left leg, radiant triangle, and really stretch out the left side of the body. Maybe the right hand comes a little lower inside the right leg. But there's no gripping, it's just a gentle hand placement. And then reaching out, we come into triangle. Lower the left arm inside the left leg, or just gently place the hand on the left shin and lift the right arm up. And come into your triangle, keeping both sides of the torso long so that we're really hinging at the hip. There's a deep bend on the left side. So this is a twist and a side bend at the same time. And then bring the right arm down and back to the floor. Find your block and your foot placement. And lift the right leg up in the air for half moon. You can step off the mat if you need to. And really strengthen both legs. Find an unmoving point to gaze at. And lift the right arm up if you have it on your hip. And keep turning your chest toward the side wall. Even as you're lifting through the right leg and strengthening the legs, keep breathing. And then lower the right hand to the mat and step the feet out to the edges of the mat with the toes turned out, wide stance, and lower the hips down. You can bring a block under your sits bones to sit on for squat pose. Breathing here. We'll try Kapalabhati in squat. So really find the length of your spine, and the tongue is placed at the back of the teeth on the top of the mouth, top teeth, and breathing in and out through the nose. Kapalabhati is a sharp exhale and then allow the inhale to happen. We'll take about 20 or 30 rounds, whatever suits you, and you can just stop when you feel ready. So inhale, exhale completely, and inhale halfway, and begin. Inhale, fill the heart, fill the chest with breath, and hold, and just relax the hands and the legs, holding the breath in. Close the eyes. And then exhale and release the hands down to the floor. And if you'd like to come with me, you can rise up from the squat directly straight up, or you can place your hands on the mat and lift the hips, whatever works for you to come all the way up to standing. And then bring the feet hip width apart again. And we'll come off the mat now for a couple more balance poses. I'd like to take tree pose today. So if you like to use a wall or a chair, you can have your left hand on the wall. And rooting down through the left leg, really strong in the left leg, bring the right knee to chest. And you can catch it with the right hand alone, flex the right foot, or you can interlace the fingers under the right knee and make circles with the right ankle. Gazing at an unmoving point, find your drishti. And then drawing the right knee out to the side, place the right foot on the inside of the left leg, whether it's at the ankle, the calf, or the thigh, just not on the knee. So we don't want to be pressing on that knee. And then press the left thigh or calf into the right foot as much as the right foot is pressing into the left leg. And then maybe grow your branches and find your stability. Breathing here. And then bring your right hand to your hip, left hand back to the wall or to the left hip. Turn the right leg forward and stretch it out in front of us, flexing the right ankle, and breathe. And lower the right leg to the floor. Just shake it out a little bit, step, step. Shake the hips a little. And we'll turn and just take our tree pose on the other side, right hand to the wall or chair, and draw the left knee to chest, rooting down through the right leg. Really spread those right toes on the floor and strengthen the right leg. Maybe we can interlace our fingers under the left knee, draw the knee in closer, circle the ankle in both directions, and squeeze it in. Then turning the left knee out, place the left foot on the inner right leg at whatever height you did on the other side. Keep refining the pose, strengthening the legs, pressing the legs, the right leg and the left foot together. And then lift the arms, grow the branches, and settle the gaze on an unmoving point. Keep breathing. And then bringing the left hand to the left hip, turn the left knee forward and stretch the left leg out with the foot flexed and breathe. And lower the left leg to the floor. We'll shake it out again and come back to the mat. Um, we'll take another back bend here. Take camel again. So bring your blanket onto the mat and bring your knees hip width apart onto the blanket and tuck the toes for stability. You can bring your hands to your hips again, or if you'd like to try, you can take your fingertips one at a time to your heels and then press the hips forward and lift the heart and allow the head to come back, all the way back. Keep pressing the hips forward. Or you can just keep your hands on your hips. And then bringing your hands to the hips if you use the heels and using core strength. Draw yourself back up. And now we'll come into rabbit pose as a counter pose. So step back over the mat. You can actually use the blanket for your head, but it's probably better not to. So the toes are tucked, knees are directly under the heel. You can sit back and catch the bottom of your feet. Actually, don't tuck the toes. Stretch the feet long. So come into child's pose. Just find your child's pose. And then catch your heels with your hands. And tuck the chin toward the chest. And then lift the hips up. And using the strength of your arms, there's not much weight on the head. We're just rounding the spine up. Breathing here. If you'd rather just stay in child's pose, if that feels good, that's good too. Always okay to just take a break from any pose, go into child's pose or down dog. And then sit back on your heels again and stretch the arms out overhead. Maybe even coming up onto the fingertips, reaching. And then we'll come back up to all fours and tuck the toes. Um, we will be taking a pigeon pose here. So find your blocks and then come into your down dog and step the right foot closer to the left. Lift the left leg high in the air. Draw the left knee to chest and then bring the left foot behind the right hand. And the left knee comes down behind the left hand and lower the right leg to the floor and find your block and place it under your left hip. Now your left ankle may come back a little, but that's okay. Just find a comfortable position. Tuck your right toes and lengthen the right leg back, and then strengthen the right leg and really square the hips down so you can come up onto the fingertips and lift the heart, take the shoulders back, lift the gaze, and try to relax down, sinking down into this hip opener pigeon pose. And then walk the hands forward and just come onto the forearms and release the neck and the head down. And just focus on relaxing the left leg, feeling the opening just happen, allowing it rather than forcing it. And then bringing the hands back in, take the left leg back and come back to down dog. And we'll come into pigeon on the other side. So step the right foot close to the left. Lift the left leg high in the air. Draw the left knee. Oh, sorry. I got that wrong. Okay. Step the left foot closer to the right. Lift the right leg high in the air. And draw the right knee to chest. And bring the right foot behind the left hand. And the right knee behind the right hand. And find your block and place it under the right thigh or hip, and then tucking the left toes, lengthen the left leg back, square the hips down, can come up onto the fingertips and roll the shoulders back and down, lift the heart, lift the gaze, breathe here. And then walk the hands out. Then come onto your forearms, or your forearms can be in a block as well if this is uncomfortable. If you're really flexible in the hip, you can stack your hands and bring your forehead to your hands or to the floor. But being on your forearms it's a good intermediate place. Just breathe and focus on allowing the right hip to open. Just relaxing the muscles of the right leg and hip and glutes and all. And then coming back up onto the hands and bringing the right foot back next to the left. We'll come down into our closing sequence. So you can cross the legs and bring them out in front of you. And bring the feet to the floor, and we'll just round the spine down to the mat. And Bring the heels close enough so that the longest finger can brush the back of the heels, and just sort of caterpillar the spine up and place the hands on the lower belly and just take a three-part breath here. So we inhale into the lower belly first, and then the rib cage, the whole rib cage, and then under the collarbone, fill the breath, and then reverse that process just continuously and slowly exhale. Take that three-part breath a couple more times on your own. And then placing the palms face down, or you can catch hold of the side of the mat for bridge pose. So lifting the hips, pressing down with the feet, bring the shoulder blades closer together and walk the arms under you and interlace the fingers, or you can keep your hands face down and lift the hips farther by engaging the strength of the legs, pressing up, bringing the chest toward the chin, but just keep the chin level where it is, looking straight up at the ceiling, and lift the hips a little higher, really engaging the buttocks and breathing deeply. And release the hands and lower the hips to the floor. And bring the shoulders back out from underneath. And then drawing the knees to the chest, lift the hips, stretch the legs up toward the ceiling and scoop the hips up, half shoulder stand. So the elbows are approximately underneath the hips. So if you need to, you can kind of wiggle one at a time closer together. But keep looking straight up. There's a little space under the back of the neck. And once you find the stability of your half shoulder stand, allow the eyes to rest back in their sockets. Close the eyes and focus the gaze between the eyebrows at third eye with the eyes closed. And allow the breath to come and go. And then bringing the legs overhead, release the hands and slowly roll the hips down. And we'll come into fish pose. So place the palms face down underneath the hips and lower the legs slowly to the floor, engaging the abdominal muscles as you come down. 3 or 4 breaths to get here. And then you can lift the hips one at a time and get the elbows under the back. So the palms are under the hips and the elbows are underneath the small of your back or the center of your back. And then lift the heart up, strengthen the legs, point the toes, and then slide back just to where the top of the head barely touches the floor. Heart is wide open here. open-hearted, breathing deeply. And then lift the head up and lower back down onto the floor and bring the feet in so that you can lift the hips up and release your arms. We'll come into happy baby here. So draw the knees to the chest and then draw the knees outside the arms and catch hold of the outside of the legs with the hands. So elbows are inside and fingers are outside. Whether your fingers are wrapped around your calves, ankles, or maybe catch the bottom of your feet, pull down and try to keep the whole spine on the floor as you're pulling down here. And then we'll straighten the right leg and pull back on the left leg. So straightening the right leg out toward the right. And then bring it back in and straighten the left leg and pull back on the right leg. And then bring it back in. And maybe we can straighten both legs out into a wide leg, sort of forward bend when we're lying on our back. So draw the legs in, keeping the spine on the floor. This is good training for keeping your spine long in these forward bends. Drawing the legs in and wide. And then drawing the knees back to chest and feet to the floor. Bring the arms out in a T and shift the hips to the left 6 to 8 inches. Knees to chest and then over to the right and draw the right shoulder out from under so that you can keep your left shoulder on the floor. If you need to, you can always take a block and place it under your right calf. And this allows the twist to be more relaxed and the left shoulder to be on the floor. If you're less open in the hips, the way I am, pretty tight in my hips. And then turn the head to gaze over the left arm. And then see if you can completely relax all the muscles of the body. Just allow the breath to come and go. And bringing the legs back up, shift the hips back to the center. Maybe place your black block on the other side if you need it. And shift the hips to the right, knees to chest, lower the legs toward the floor. Walk the left shoulder out. Really find this in a comfortable position and turn the head to gaze over the right arm. Close the eyes and release all muscle effort. Even relaxing the eyes, the eyelids, cheeks. And then coming back up to center, I'd like to offer a little bit different position for Shavasana. We haven't done this in a while. Um, if you place one block on its lowest setting, long ways on the mat, and the other block long ways right behind it, right at the top of your mat. And then if you have a couple of pillows or a bolster, I have something that's like some between a bolster and a pillow, then you can place that on the blocks so that you can come down. I think I'm even going to tuck this under so that your torso is like at a 45-degree angle. And you might want to put on a shirt and socks to keep warm. It got a little bit cold again this morning. So make sure you're warm and comfortable. And then just bring your buttocks to the edge of the pillows and come back and rest back and then the arms can rest on the floor and the feet, the legs long and a little bit open so you can have the the feet towards the corners of the mat at the bottom. And just find a very comfortable position and close the eyes and turn inwards, noticing your breath as it comes and goes at its natural rhythm with no effort, just observation. And just observe where you might hold tension, whether it's in your hands and arms, legs, feet, buttocks, face. The face is a big one. I don't know why, but our faces want to help with everything we do. So we engage the muscles of our face so much that it's almost hard to let go. Really relax the face. And once you find those places where you hold tension, hold those places in love for yourself, almost as if you're holding a kitten or a baby or a puppy. Just be comfortable. And then very slowly move the fingers, toes, and find your seat back on your blanket with the opposite foot in front to the one you started with. And we'll draw the arms up overhead, palms to heart center. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu, loka samasta, sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. Thank you for joining me this morning.